Hi, it's Dan Lier, Las Vegas' most requested motivational speaker, also known as America's Coach. Today's success track is focused on consistency. What I've seen in my travels around the world is that consistency is one of the fundamentals for success in anything in life, and I do mean anything. You could be a sales rep, an executive, a CEO, maybe you're a parent or a college student. Consistency is the key to your success. And I'll give you an example. When companies hire me to perform a motivational talk for their national sales meeting or corporate event, oftentimes I'll get hired afterwards as a consultant to focus on increasing productivity. At that point, I'll go in-house, so to speak, and start refining the sales process and changing the psychology. And when people realize it's time to raise the bar, I'll oftentimes hear people say something to this effect. Okay, that's it. I'm really going to make it happen now. I'm going to make 100 calls a day and I'm going to crush my quota. That's a typical response and a great way to think. I love people who are fired up. Yet because I'm an expert in human behavior, I know that even with the best intentions, they're not going to do 100 calls a day. Why? Because things happen. An emergency with one of your best clients, personal issues, one of your kids is sick. Things just happen. And the problem with setting yourself up for massive activity, such as 100 calls a day, is that you've set yourself up for failure. Once you miss your goal a few times, your mind stops feeling like it can do it. And the natural human behavior is to stop. We just lose our steam. So what I teach is consistency. The guy that I referred to earlier said he was going to make 100 calls a day. His name was Mark. And I said to Mark, Mark, I love your passion and I love your intent. And I'd like you to consider something different, a different approach. Rather than 100 calls a day, can you make 10 solid calls a day no matter what? And Mark says to me, 10 calls? He said, of course. 10 calls is nothing. Well, to make a long story short, the math is simple. When you're consistent in making 10 new prospecting calls a day, you've made 50 calls a week, 200 a month, which comes out to be 2,400 new prospecting calls a year. The challenge for most people is coming out of the gate at 100 miles an hour, yet not being able to sustain that for any period of time. Remember the tortoise and the hare? I asked Mark how many calls he made over the last quarter, and he estimated at about 300. The fact is, he really didn't know. Consistency will change the game for you. You can apply the law of consistency to your fitness, your eating habits, your relationship, or preparing for a big meeting or presentation. Being consistent does 3 things for you. Number 1, it sets you up for success psychologically. When you set an activity or goal that is actually doable, you feel confident and you look forward to doing it. When you have an activity or a goal that may be too aggressive, you don't look forward to doing it. Number 2, it builds your confidence and self-esteem. When you're consistent in moving towards your goal, you feel better. You feel confident, and that confidence shows in all areas of your life. Number 3, you get results, and that's really the key. So how about you? Can you change your thought process to be consistent rather than inconsistent or erratic? You know, up one week and down the next. Take a look at one of your goals this year and apply the law of consistency. Trust me, I know you'll love the results. Great job today. I'm Dan Lier, and you can make it happen.
'Cause no one can stop you now, just never give up.
Gotta rise above. Everybody gotta rise above.
Say